until this little old woman with long white hair and a long dress. She was so cute and delicate. She came up to me. Didn't know her from Adam. She came up to me and she said, "You are so special." And she gave me a big hug. And I know it may sound little, it may sound like nothing, but when you are as lonely and as desperate and going through the worst time in your life, something like that means more than the world to you. Or it did to me, at least. And she will never know how much strength she gave me just from that. And you know, the whole point of this video was to not only share my story, a little bit of my story, because this isn't even a fraction of my story, but it was to share it and say, you know, things will get better. You know, at one point in time, I had to go 4 days without showering because I wasn't able to. When my mom went shopping, I would have to go sit in the shoe department of Walmart, you know, where the little benches are you try your shoes on. I would go sit there because I was too embarrassed to ride in a wheelchair. I wasn't able to walk around. While my friends was, you know, getting their license and going on dates. I went my whole high school years and never went on one date. Never been kissed. Never anything. I had no normal high school life. But now, and like, remember I told you about the clothes? I didn't have any clothes. I had gained all that weight. I didn't have anything. But now I'm getting my school paid for because I'm considered disabled. I have an apartment now for very cheap rent, no utilities, because I'm disabled. I won't be disabled forever. I only have I still have bad back days, but it's not as intense as it was in the beginning, not in any way, and I feel that one day I'll be completely healed. I know that I will be. And I've lost about 90 pounds altogether. I'm still going at that, but that's a lot of weight to lose. And had you told me that I would lose all that weight, I would have laughed in your face. Because to me, that sounded impossible. Like, I didn't know how I'd ever lose all that weight. But God blessed me to, because I kept the faith during the hard times. And so, like, I get off track a lot, but the point of this video was to, one, tell you that things do get better. You just got to keep the faith during the hard times. And it was, two, to point out how much value, how much impact you can have on someone's life in just a few seconds, like that little old woman had on me. What if she would have killed herself when she was younger during the hard time? What if she couldn't have been in that moment for me? She will never know how much she encouraged me and lifted me up and all this stuff. What if she would have killed herself? What if I would have killed myself and would be making this video right now and couldn't inspire somebody that is really going to get a lot out of this? You know what I mean? Like, you were meant to live. You were meant to shine brighter than the sun ever dreamed of shining. And I mean that. I don't care how cheesy it sounds. You were meant to do that. You were made, you were planned, you were sewn so delicately and intricately by God Himself. He made you to do something amazing. Don't be down on yourself. I don't care what you're going through. Like I told you, I was going through pure hell, but in my mind, I knew, God, you're going to use this for my good. You're going to help me. Use this to raise me up into my destiny. You've got to believe that way. You can't look at what's going on and say, this is what life is always going to be. I had people tell me that I would be confined to a wheelchair. I had doctors that wanted to cut my chest open and fuse a metal rod in my back. And I wouldn't let them. You know why? Because I believed that I would get better. I believe that it would take time. I just knew there was something that I needed during the journey of healing. You know what I mean? Like, some people want to be healed instantly, and that can happen. I believe in miracles. But sometimes you have to walk through it and suffer through it because there's something in there that you need to learn. You know what I mean? Diamonds are made through pressure. I went there. It's cheesy, but it's true. You have to endure hard times before you really appreciate the good times. Like, remember I told you I had no clothes? See that big closet over there? That's full. I remember when I was 15, 16 and I lost all my clothes, I remember looking at my empty closet and praying over it. I remember saying, God, I thank you for this time, because I know one day I'm going to have more than enough, and this time is going to make me appreciate when I do have more than enough. And it's also going to make me more considerate to people who don't have, and I'll be more generous. And it did. Sometimes I'll get off track and I'll be looking through my closet and I'm like, I don't have anything to wear. And then it's like, Kayla, shut up. You don't remember when you had those jogging pants and those 3 t-shirts and that's all you had to wear? I had to wear that on my birthday. Now I don't. Because I persevered. I held on to God. I held on to my belief that I was going to get through it, and I walked through it. And I don't want anybody to say, oh my God, Kayla, you're so strong, blah, blah, blah. It is not of me at all. It is all of Jesus Christ. He is the reason I'm alive. He is the reason I made it through that same. He is the reason that I even want to make this video. Because He has put it in me to really care for people. I care so much. And the thought that my friend killed himself, took his own life, was that lonely or, sad and depressed, took his own life, completely breaks my heart. And like I said in the first video, the thought that I could have maybe stopped it eats me alive. I want to help anybody that I can now, because suicide is real to me now. Suicide, I'll never be the same after that boy's death. And he wasn't even a best friend. So, like I said, you have no idea how important you are to the world. You were meant to be here. You were meant to go through whatever you've been through and use it as a stepping stone into your destiny. The very thing that was meant to kill you can be the very thing that makes you amazing if you allow it. But you have to allow it. You can't quit. You can't let that go. He told me when I was 14 that his biggest fear was failure. He said, I never want to fail, Kayla. I want to go places. I remember his voice. I remember the way he laughed. I remember the look on his faces the look on his face when he said things. I remember his hugs from behind. I remember him pulling my hair in class. I remember the lessons he taught me without even either of us realizing he was teaching me anything. In such a short amount of time, he made such a big impact on my life. And I want everybody out there to know that you are important. Don't ever let anybody or anything make you feel like you're worthless, because you were made by God. You were planned. You were designed before the world was designed. You had a purpose here. And you can never let go. And I really just wanted to let people know that it will get better. I am living proof. There's so much more to my story, but I figured nobody would want to watch any more of a video than I've made. It's probably like an hour long. You know how much I'll talk. But that was just a pinch of my story. I am proof that it gets better. And it's only going to get better for me. I don't care what else I have to face. And it's only going to get better for you too, no matter what you're going through.